let's make breakfast. Okay guys, my breakfast game has changed recently. Well, kind of. What I eat is still the same, but how I make it is different, or how I eat it is different. So if you've watched my full days of eating on this channel, you know I am an overnight oats girly stan to the core. I've been eating them for years. Easy, filling, delicious, like what's not to love? But then I got the Ninja Creami and I started making them ice cream style, and oh my gosh, so good. Now I make them the exact same way in the Creami that I do my overnight oats, so let me show you how. Okay, really quick while I get everything together. What is the Creami? A lot of people, some people like know it. I swear it's like just gone viral on social media. It is essentially an ice cream maker, but you can make like anything into like ice cream consistency. I love smoothies. I like if I don't have to eat a smoothie with a spoon, it's not thick enough. So I was like, this is right up my alley for this. So it's just kind of like an ice cream maker. Yes, it's basically the same thing as a smoothie, but it makes it into like ice cream consistency. I do also make like just regular old like milk-based ice creams, not just like these breakfasty smoothie ones that I'm gonna show you how to make. But if you're curious, like what in goodness's name is the Creami, that's what it is. Okay, I'm gonna make this in the Ninja Creami container because that's how I'm gonna eat it. But if I'm making an overnight oat version, I love these containers. They're glass, they have a lid, and they also have a little spoon. They're just cute. They make breakfast fun and they're super easy, reusable. I'll link them in the description. Is everyone like seeing like everyone doing this lately? Like it slightly drives me nuts. I'll link those too. So we're gonna use this container to make it, but I do them the same way, whether it's like I said, oats or the creme. Okay, so the base to this has 3 ingredients here. You can use it's all gonna be the same ratio, half cup each. We are gonna do a protein shake. These are my absolute favorite protein shakes, Premier Protein. I tried another brand and they were horrendous. They had such a bad like aftertaste. You can also just use milk, but I like to use a protein shake to have just a little bit of an extra feel full boost. So protein helps us keep us feeling full. So we're gonna add that in there. This is the caramel one. It's probably my favorite flavor, but they have tons. So we're gonna add that. Like I said, you can also just use regular old milk if you like. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add half cup of oats. And then our third ingredient for the base is gonna be a half cup of Greek yogurt. So there is some protein in here still, even if you don't like use a protein shake. It just adds a little bit of an extra boost. Totally fine to do it either way. I will also use protein, you can use protein powder if you want, just to add a scoop to whatever liquid you use. I like Optimum Nutrition Gold Standard Whey. Let me grab that, it's right there. This stuff, I get it from Costco. It's fabulous and affordable. Again, best tasting one I've tried. My husband recently, let me grab that one too, hang on. My husband got this one, Ghost. It is very, very delicious. It's a little more expensive, so I consider this like a splurgy one. But this also very good taste, no like bad aftertaste in my opinion. And this is the peanut butter cereal milk flavor. Totes delish. Okay, I don't feel like getting up, so we're gonna put that there. Okay, so we have our 3 ingredients in here, and this is, like I said, going to be our base. We're just gonna go ahead and mix all of this up, and this is where you can customize. And this is where someone asked me, like, what are all of your overnight oat flavors? They all go in the SociEATy app. I'll list a few of them in the description to give you a little bit of inspo. What I have been loving specifically in the Creami is an apple cinnamon. So that is what we are going to add here. I'm gonna make one after this. I'll make a different flavor just to give you some variety. But I'm going to add our apple. Do you guys ever think of Bridesmaids? Apple. When she's like showing, does anyone know what I'm talking about when she's showing her engagement ring? Apple. Do you want an apple? You guys probably think I'm bananas. But not bananas, I'm apple. Wow, Colleen. Okay, I'm gonna, ooh, that was loud, sorry. Grab the cinnamon. Yeah, girlie likes a lot of cinnamon. Okay, I really should have mixed the cinnamon first, but that's okay. The good thing about the Creami is that it just kind of like all mixes it together. You can add anything else here, sweetener, anything. I find that my protein powder has enough sweetener in it. With the yogurt and the fruit, like I don't feel like I need anymore. If you don't use a protein powder, you're probably gonna need to add a sweetener just because you'll be missing out on that a little bit. But we're gonna give this all a mix in. And then when I make it, if I'm making overnight oats, I'll go ahead and like add peanut butter or some sort of more predominant fat source. But I have been liking adding the peanut butter after on when I specifically make the apple cinnamon ones, because it becomes like a magic shell when it's like the frozen ice cream, and then the peanut butter just becomes like a frozen delicious magic shell. So we're gonna put this baby in the freezer, and then I'm gonna grab another one, we'll make it. And then I wanna chat about breakfast and skipping breakfast and what happens when you skip breakfast and skip breakfast side effects. Should you eat when you're not hungry? Should you eat breakfast when you're not hungry? We're gonna go over all of it, but my tummy's starting to rumble. I'm feeling some hunger cues, so we're gonna get this in the freezer and then chitty chat. Good. We're gonna go with this one. I got them all meal prepped here. I feel like I'm proposing to you. This is berry coconut. I get really sick of berry flavors, so I don't usually we'll make like 1 or 2 a week, but let me actually show you the other flavors that I made. So you've got apple cinnamon, this berry coconut, and then I made a carrot cake one. I like carrot cake overnight oats, but I did it just carrot and it was honestly not that great. So I actually did half carrot, half apple for this one, but the same carrot cake recipe that's in the SociEATy app for that. But I'm gonna go make this. And for the fat source for this one, I'm actually going to use flaked coconut. This is berry coconut. I used the same extracts that I use for my coffee for this. Let me pop this light on. My creamies in the breakfast nook. So I'm gonna add this. There's like a mix-in setting in the creamy. So I'm gonna do coconut flakes for the fat source here. I feel like that's such like an underutilized fat source, but okay, I'm gonna make this and then we'll sit down and chat. Okay, 2 things. I just realized I am notorious for not taking like tags and labels off of things. I've had this for a couple weeks now. Let's do it. Let's do it. There we go. Okay. This is what it turns out to look like. So if you have a creamy, I always do spin it, have to respin it. Let me back up. Do it. If I'm making like the sorbet kind of thing, like yogurts, not regular ice cream, right? Like I'm making like a smoothie type ice cream or something along that lines, I will look at that, baby. Use the light setting and then add a little bit. I always have to like respin it. And then I added the coconut flakes and then did the mix-in setting, and it is quite literally like the perfect ice cream consistency, guys. Look at that, my Lanta. I was like, why is there a big chunk of ice? But it's white from it's not ice, it's the coconut flakes. Anywho, okay guys, let's talk about breakfast. It is definitely my favorite meal of the day. I just love breakfast food. I'm a sweet kind of girly. You can eat sweet foods all day long, but I love it so much. But is it really, from a dietitian's point of view, the most important meal of the day? What happens if you skip breakfast? Should you still eat breakfast even though you're not hungry? Let's do it. Let's dive into the breakfast topic. I need to dive into this a little bit first because I am not gonna lie, guys, I'm very hungry. This video is taking longer to film than I thought. I think I could have went a little bit heavier on the coconut extract, but delish. Okay, I don't recommend skipping breakfast even if you're not hungry, and I'll tell you why. I usually recommend eating something within a few hours of waking up in the morning. And I know if you watch my channel regularly, you're like, well, Colleen, you're all about listening to your body. If my body's telling me it's not hungry, shouldn't I listen to it and not eat? No, not necessarily. So here's the rundown. Our body, specifically our liver, can store about 100 grams of glycogen. This is readily available energy, our body's fueled energy source. And the liver can take that and essentially drip out carbohydrates, that preferred energy source, throughout the bloodstream and refuel the rest of the body throughout the day between meals and snacks. Now, this amount that your liver can hold typically lasts for about 3 to 6 hours worth of energy maximum. That's during waking hours. It can go a tad longer overnight. Our bodies can get fuel from other sources like our muscles. Those can store about 500 grams of glycogen. But the thing is, they can't release it into the rest of the body like the liver can. Kind of like your muscles packed a snack, but they're not sharing. That energy in the muscles is predominantly used for fuel for exercise, not when the body is just like casually doing its thing. Ultimately, the body can switch from the carbohydrate stores that we've been talking about to pulling from fat stores, yes, but this is not its preferred way to function, not on a regular long-term basis. So when we eat breakfast, here's what the research shows. It will help control and stabilize your hunger hormones during the day. It can help prevent extra noshing on high sugar, calorie, high fat foods in the evenings. It can improve your sleep, and those are just a few of the benefits. The negative I'ma skip breakfast effects, be it intentional or unintentional, don't outweigh the skip breakfast benefits that some people claim. It'll likely just make you eat more later on, and it's gonna throw your hunger and fullness cues out of whack during the day and also in the evening. Now, you don't need to down a giant stack of flapjacks and eggs and sausage and orange juice necessarily, especially if you're not feeling hungry. How much you eat can depend on so many different things, like how hungry you are, what activities you have coming up, or even the access to food that you may or may not have during the day. So no, I don't recommend skipping breakfast altogether, and even if you're not hungry. Plus, it's delicious. I have to say, filming this video kind of like as I'm eating breakfast, it's kind of like pacing me through this, because otherwise I just like, it's so delicious I get like a brain freeze. I'm not having that effect. I just eat breakfast with you guys every day. Eating breakfast can truly be a form of self-care. So some ideas for those I'm just not hungry or I just don't feel like eating days can be nutrient-dense bars. They're gonna pack a lot of nutrition bang for a little compact volume. Great for when you don't feel hungry. Smoothies, a lot of times drinking can be easier than actually chewing solid food during that time. You could also make like a protein coffee, take one of those Premier Protein or any kind of like protein powder kind of thing, throw it in your coffee. Ideally with some sort of fat in there. For meals, our bodies tend to feel best with a little carbs, fat, and protein, but even if you get just some of those in there, it's probably gonna be better than nothing. Yogurt can also be easy. You don't really have to chew that, or anything like easy grab and go egg bites. We just put a egg bite recipe in the SociEATy app. We did make it with some potatoes, so you got carbs, fat, and protein all in one little bite. Check it out, delicious. The app is where you can learn more about this concept of what I call practical hunger, doing things not necessarily based off of body's cues, but also listening to your body includes listening to your brain and what your brain knows that your body needs and could benefit from. You can also learn how to strengthen your hunger and fullness cues, non-diet meal planning, and so much more. It's truly everything you need to learn how to stop dieting, eat with no food rules, everything that I teach and preach here on this channel. If you haven't downloaded it yet, I'll put the link in the description for you. It's free to download and you can get a customized intuitive eating plan built. Take a peek at what's been included in it, and then if you like it, you can get started. I know you're gonna love it. I'll put the link in the description. It takes all about 5 minutes. All right, guys, I hope this video was helpful for you in giving you some breakfast ideas, giving you a bit of info on the skip breakfast effects, and debunking some of the skip breakfast benefits. The positives people talk about usually don't outweigh the negatives. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, thumbs up it, you know what I mean. Comment, subscribe, all of the things. And let me know if you guys have any other breakfast ideas or flavor combos that I should try for oats or creamies. Love to hear your feedback, and hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video is uploaded here on this channel. It'd be a tragedy if you missed out. Now this girlie is gonna go finish this bad boy, and I'll see you later.